feels like the Democrats lit the match, and now they're trying to attack the agents who are doing their job. I mean, let's face it. These Democrats oversaw a wide-open border where some criminals came in. 350 people on the terrorist watch list were encountered under Biden's years. And then they told citizens to get in the faces of ICE. When ICE reacted, now they're attacking ICE for doing their job. What is taking place here?
Seeing exactly what you just said. You've seen attacks on ICE officers and our other federal partners for only going out there and doing their law enforcement mission. We had more than 470 criminally illegal aliens this year alone since President Trump took office, re-released back into the communities. So we were out there focused on getting the worst of the worst. And if you look at our social media sites and see our press releases, you'll see consistently ICE agents and deportation officers have arrested murderers, gang members, serial rapists, people wanted from their home country for heinous crimes. Yet, unfortunately, you don't hear that. We're automatically assuming from elected officials that ICE is out there doing something wrong. And it's horrible for the fact that people say that ICE is now targeting U.S. citizens. That's not the case. We have to send more officers and agents just to protect the men and women that are out there trying to do their regular, lawful law enforcement mission.
Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons telling Maria on Sunday about the increased risks to ICE officers as protests and riots escalate in Minnesota. 1,500 active duty troops from Alaska reportedly ready to deploy to Minneapolis over the violent protests. Meanwhile, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers is warning the state would be destroyed economically if illegal aliens are deported. His lieutenant governor proposing statewide bans on ICE enforcement near courthouses, hospitals, schools, shelters, and places of worship. I want to bring in Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany. Congressman, this is Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez. You're on the record as saying you vehemently disagree with her about how to handle ICE operations in your state. Tell us more.
Good morning, Cheryl. Let's take a look at some of the cases that have happened in Wisconsin. A woman beaten to a pulp by an illegal alien in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. 2 young teenagers killed by an illegal alien. Second offense, drunk driver on one of the interstates here. Those 2 young people are no longer with us. Over in Delafield, Wisconsin, a suburb of Milwaukee, you have South American gangs that are burglarizing homes. And here you have the Lieutenant Governor of Wisconsin saying she's going to take the side of the lawbreakers. And even her governor has distanced himself from her rhetoric. It is as extreme as you can get, where they'll defend the lawbreakers before innocent people here in Wisconsin or Minnesota.
But what do you make of Governor Evers' point on this, that the illegal immigrant population is supporting the dairy and overall farm industry in your state?
He's trying to change the subject in regards to this. I mean, it's really a slap in the face of the really hardworking people in Wisconsin. There's not very many illegal aliens that are working in Wisconsin, and he says that the state is going to shut down. A real slap in the face to everybody that is getting up right now, going to work, some of them at work already, doing their jobs. I mean, that's just not the case. And if he wanted to do something about this, Cheryl, the first thing he could do as governor is implement work requirements. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of people here in Wisconsin, just like around the country, who are able-bodied and choosing not to work. They should work. That should be the first action the governor takes. If I'm governor, that's what I will do.
I was going to ask you about your campaign. Again, thank you for saying that. You are running for governor of the state. What are you hearing are the most important issues right now as you're on the campaign trail across the state?
Well, it's economy. I was just over in western Wisconsin this weekend, which borders right up to the Twin Cities. My district, like Hudson, Wisconsin, is basically a suburb of the Twin Cities, and they're really following this fraud case. So I think it's economy, it's affordability, but tucked in there is this issue of fraud, and they want to make sure that it's not happening here in Wisconsin, which at some level we know it is. It doesn't matter what state it is. There is some of this fraud going on. I don't know if it's at an industrial scale like Minnesota, but people want to know that their tax dollars are being spent appropriately and are not being shipped off to places like Somalia.
Well, and that is the work that you're going to be doing. You're on Judiciary, so let's talk about this, because the Judiciary Committee Crime Subcommittee has a hearing coming up Wednesday on the Minnesota fraud scandal. The testimony includes YouTuber and independent journalist Nick Shirley, who kind of became the match that sparked this. He helped uncover the organized fraud network that was happening throughout Minneapolis, Congressman. So what can we expect from this? What more can we learn from having Nick Shirley testify this week?
There'll be lots of good questions for Mr. Shirley and the work that he has done. Who I'm most interested in questioning on that panel, though, is a woman who works with an autism.
Okay, I think we lost Congressman Tiffany. We're going to work to get him back. Liz, your reaction to this, I thought it was interesting. As he's running for governor, he's saying, look, I have districts that are right next to the Twin Cities, and there is a lot of concern. But then he pointed back to the economy.
Yeah, so and the Republicans obviously are going to be pushing the economy as sort of the big issue going into the midterms. The economy is doing extremely well. I know that there are polls out showing that people are not comfortable with it. They're not optimistic about the level of inflation and so forth. But the reality is that real wages are increasing. Stock market's obviously hitting all-time highs. The economy is growing very rapidly. So they're going to push that. But they're also, interestingly, Cheryl, I think pushing fraud. And that was interesting to have him raise that.
The congressman's back with us. Congressman, I'm sorry we lost you for just a moment, but I did want to ask you about that, because not only is the testimony from Nick Shirley going to be a big story this week, but also former special counsel Jack Smith is going to be testifying publicly before House Judiciary. That's Thursday. So Maria spoke with Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan on Sunday. Here's what he's expecting.
Well, one of the first questions I think we want to ask him is, you paid a confidential human source $20,000. Who's this individual? What'd you pay him for? Was this the only payment? Were there multiple payments? And maybe the big question is, why did you have to pay him? You're Jack Smith. You're the special counsel. You can subpoena and depose just about anybody you want. What were you doing paying this individual? What kind of information was he giving your investigations? I mean, it starts to sound a little bit like 10 years ago when the Comey FBI was paying Christopher Steele, when they paid a foreigner to write this bogus document, the dossier, that started this 10-year-long attack on President Trump we've seen from the left.
Congressman, why would the government and a special counsel pay someone $20,000 for information? If you go and talk to the government, you're under oath, right? You can't lie to the FBI. Why is he paying somebody $20,000 for information? Isn't that illegal?
Well, no, I mean, again, Christopher Steele was a confidential human source who they paid. So this is a practice they do. I don't know why Jack Smith did it, but this is one of the things we want to find out.
Congressman, your reaction as we get ready to see Jack Smith in public.
Looking forward to seeing Jack Smith's testimony. Where I'm going to focus is going all the way back to Jack Smith's partisan history that sets up why he went after President Trump. Because as people know, Jack Smith was tied in to Lois Lerner at the IRS back when they were attacking people who were setting up Second Amendment organizations like 15, 16 years ago. Jack Smith has a long history of partisanship going after Republicans.
Congressman Tom Tiffany. Congressman, thank you so much for being here. We're sorry about the trouble with your connections. We appreciate it. We'll be right back, everybody.